So Nova, are you going to be entering the wild tournament that we're announcing today? Nova's entering in at a slim 9.5 pounds, and she'll be competing in the Open Wild Tournament. Check it out live on twitch.tv/Zeddy. Details later below in the video today. Nova is going to crush you all. So you better bring your best stacks to the Wild Tournament.
Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, and welcome to This Week in Hearthstone, week number 36, our weekly news recap series where we take a look at all the news and events in the past week in the Hearthstone world, and we got a lot to cover today. So no meta update, we're going to go straight into a lot of stuff that we got to talk about. So first, we're going to talk about possible wild nerfs coming. Are they happening or are they not? Ixar spilled the beans, and well, I've got some issues with it. Next, we have the $1,000 open tournament. We're finally announcing details, letting you all know how to participate, so stay tuned for that. We also have the Grandmaster results from week number 3, with Specialist being the format this week, and as well as the Mailbag segment where I answer your questions. So first, let's start off with possible wild nerfs, and Ixar did his weekly AMA as always. It's now on Fridays, no longer Wednesdays, on Fridays, and he was asked, are there any plans about rebalancing wild? APM Mage really takes the fun out of my favorite format. It's like Naga Siege all over again, even worse. And Ixar responded with no changes planned currently. I play a significant amount of wild, and I'd say the most busted feeling things out there right now are APM Mage and Dark Lair. APM Mage got a population jolt due to some Baron's cards. So, we're waiting to see how the meta settles, and this is where I'm going to give a little bit of a rant, is that last line, the meta settles. We have been listening to the devs about wild, about the meta settling for I think almost a year now. It feels like every time wild is brought up, they're going to wait for the meta to settle. We've been a month away from Barons. We've seen a balance patch in Standard since Barons came out. Standard got a balance patch, but Wild, no, nothing. And they're probably going to be doing another balance patch before the mini set launches early in June, and we still are not going to get anything. And you know what's going to happen when we ask for wild nerfs again after the mini set? Well, the mini set came out. We want to see how that formulates into wild, and we'll wait for the meta to settle. I'm getting really tired of this excuse, this term from the team in regards to wild about the meta settling, because that's all we ever hear. If they don't want to balance the format, if they honestly don't, they want wild to be wild, even though it completely isn't, it's dominated by like 3 decks, then just come out, say that, stick with it. Don't give us this meta settle stuff. Don't give us, we'll wait and see how things come out with the next mini set, all that, because that's what we hear every time and nothing ever changes. We still have Secret Mage as like a really oppressive deck, Dark Lair Warlock for almost a year now, and Sorcerer's Apprentice decks, whether it's APM, Mozaki, Quest Mage, they keep coming up, and it's going to keep happening. And if you're not interested in balancing wild, just come out and say it. They've kind of alluded to it with the let's wild be wild, but then they say stuff like this that makes me think, well, maybe there are open to balance changes. I feel like they're kind of just having the wild community sticking around hoping that something will happen when it just keeps on being nothing. And I'd rather prefer them just to give us a concrete statement. Are they going to do balance patches for wild or not? Leave it at that, and then at least we know what our expectations are. Because yes, I would love to see Apprentice nerf. I'd love to see like a Dark Lair Warlock nerf. I'd love to see a Raza reverted, something like that. We've talked about that a ton, but nothing ever changes. It's like hitting your head against a brick wall. Like, it just, nothing ever changes in regards to wild. More fun wild news though, where you know our favorite meta is our $1,000 wild tournament. As been announced, we are going live with everything, and here are the details. It will be going over the weekend of May 7th through May 9th. It is open to anybody who has a Hearthstone account on NA in EU. We're hoping maybe we could do an Asia one later, but again, we only have so much logistics, so much stuff we can do. NA and EU is the best we can do, but it's a $1,000 prize pool. Again, open to anybody, and all you have to do, there's 2 links in the description below. There's a sign up guide with a Google Doc, which will lead you to a Discord where you then can can sign up for on Battlefy. It's what like Hearthstone uses for their stuff, Battlefy. That like it's very common. 7th, the tournament will begin. We'll be broadcasting it live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zeddy. Myself, Solemn, I believe Brookworm has tentatively agreed. We're not entirely sure, but again, we're looking for casters as well. So if you know any well-known Hearthstone community members, send them my way. My DMs are open. I'm looking for probably like 3 or 4 extra casters to help out over the weekend. I'm planning on working the whole weekend, helping out the entire time, but it would be nice to get some more people out there. But yeah, it's open to everybody. It's going to be wild, like a Swiss format. You can ban a class from your opponent. No cards are banned outside of things like Whizbang and Zale, or banned in every tournament. It should be a lot of fun. And again, we'll hype it up when it gets closer. But again, just check out the sign up guide, check out the Discord, participate, have fun. Whether you win or lose, just have some fun, play some Hearthstone. Maybe you win some money, maybe you get featured on the stream. That'd be pretty cool, and it should be a lot of fun. And then next we have the week 3 Grandmaster results. This week's format was Specialist. Specialist is basically you bring one class only, and it's one deck, and then you have a secondary and tertiary deck where you can swap out 5 cards from everything. It's like sideboarding. So on NA, we saw Rami defeat No Hands Gamer. No Hands 3 weeks in the Final Four. The guy is ridiculously good, but he wasn't good enough to beat Rami's Hunter lineup. It was like kind of like Face Hunter, and No Hands had Spellmage, so didn't work out so well. But Rami, congratulations, first time he's won on the season, and he was really happy about it. Swids won over on E with his Control Priest. Yarla again top 4. Both No Hands and Yarla top 4 back-to-back weeks. Pretty ridiculous stuff. And on Asia, we had Blitzchung, Freedom of Hong Kong Blitzchung, winning as well with Token Druid. I think it's the only one on the Asia Pacific server to bring Token Druid. So congratulations to the winners, and congrats to everyone who hit top 4. Really good stuff. And lastly, we have the mailbag segment where I answer your questions. Again, if you want to ask me a question, leave a comment below with mailbag in the comments so it's easy for me to spot. And first, Horror Swiftfang asks, which Hearthstone storyline do you like the most? For me, it's one about George and Carl through the expansions. I'm not gonna lie, I am ridiculously bad at following like lore and all that stuff in both Hearthstone. I don't follow World of Warcraft stuff whatsoever. So I will just go, I really like the flavor of Mankrik and his wife, searching for his wife, finding her, murdered sadly, and then going on this rampage and going face. I think that's like this one of the coolest flavor cards ever, and I guess that's a story, but again, I'm really bad with this stuff, so I apologize for giving a pretty bad answer. Next, Jonathan Perez asks, how many achievement points do you have right now? Currently I have around 21,620 achievement points as of recording. We're working through the Barons achievements. As you can see, we're like well over half of them, so that achievement guide will hopefully be out in a couple of weeks, so you can guys get an idea of how to earn some extra XP. But yeah, we're nearing 22,000. We're pretty up there. I have one sub, Basta, who showed me a screenshot. He's ahead of me, but there's not very many people that I believe have more than 22,000. That's pretty rare out there. Zockmeister asks, what are there any other K-pop artists you like? We're keeping the K-pop theme going. So I'll just list three groups. I don't really care for the guy groups. I'm not gonna lie. I like the girls. I find them a lot more fun. So I enjoy Blackpink. They're very popular, but they're very good. I like old AOA stuff. They're pretty awesome, although they've had some controversy lately. If you don't know about that, check that out. There's drama in the K-pop world of all things. And also Red Velvet. Red Velvet has a lot of really cool and fun songs. Parasite Plays asks, if Blizzard actually rescinded your blacklist and invited you to events and promos, would you want to go? So I've been asked this quite a lot, and I've always been open. I want to work with Blizzard. It would be a dream come true for me, but it would be on one condition. I would be allowed to say what I always say, be myself, be truthful, and not have to, you know, be a Blizzard kind of shill or anything like that. That would be the condition. And from what I've dealt with them, that doesn't seem acceptable, because the only reason I am incommunicado, from what I understand, is my criticism. So yeah, I won't change my stance on that. I'm not going to be untruthful to you guys and all of a sudden start not putting out critiques when Blizzard messes up. I just don't think I could possibly do that. So yes, I'd be more than happy to work with them as long as they let me be me. That's all. So spoiler alert, we're probably not going to be working with Blizzard. Nin City asks, do you think the change of the Shaman hero power is good or bad for the class? As a WoW player, primarily decks like even an Odd Shaman use spell damage totems to burn down the components with damage spells, and that taking away feels like it's hurt the class with a subpar replacement. So far, I would agree that the hero power replacement has sucked. I play quite a bit like Shaman in Arena and Ladder and stuff like that, and it's just bad. Like, the new totem isn't terrible, and it snowballs. It's the only totem to snowball, but when you miss out on that spell damage, when so many cards you can tell have been designed with spell damage in mind, they just haven't been properly compensated. I feel it'll get better as time goes along, but right now you can see with all the like spell synergies, and hell, there's a spell damage legendary Fuzz Whisper in Shaman right now. It's kind of lacking a spell damage totem and spells damage synergies. So yeah, I think it's been rough, but I think it's more long-term planning, or at least I hope. But right now, I agree, it's not been great. And Coolman will leave off with the weekly Nova question with, would you be up for doing a Nova live stream, just watching her for hours, since I would happily watch that content as well? What do you think, Nova? Do you want to become a Twitch streamer? Do you want people to watch you? We'll let you look into her eyes. We'll let you look into her eyes, and you can see this is kind of like a little Nova live stream, right? She's looking at you. She's saying hello. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. If you enjoyed this week in Hearthstone, please like and subscribe, and maybe we'll have a Nova live stream at some point in the future. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends. Right, Nova? We'll see you guys later.